Carol, it looks like these last, 10 minutes, even hour, has been a straight shot up for equities.
Maybe that's what Alex and Romaine are up to. They're at home buying stocks. But, I mean, it's really fascinating to see the buying that we've seen into the close here. You've got most names over 400 in the S&P 500. So broad-based buying as we get ready to wrap up not only the day, the week, but also the month. It's been a rough month, though, Tim. You keep reminding me.
It has been a rough month. The S&P 500 down 1.4% on the month. At least as of now, it was a lot uglier this morning. The NASDAQ, though, composite down 4% on the month.
Yeah, it's the rally into the close has been so strong here. We were down 2.5% for the week on the S&P. We were down 4% for the week on the NASDAQ. We were down 7% for the week on the Mag 7 stocks. And they're just pumping up here. You can see NASDAQ gains at 1.7%. The small caps and the mid caps are not doing quite as well. But I look at the Mag 7 index that we have, BM7T index, if you want to type it into your Bloomberg terminal, and I see that it was down at 1.5%. It's now up more than 2.1% for the day.
How much do you think this has to do with end of month positioning? I mean, it is the last trading day of February.
I can't find any other explanation for this.
Window dressing.
Window dressing on the last day of the month. And of course, in these final seconds, we are looking at equities closing near their highs of the session, just coming off the best levels. But you're looking at gains of better than 1% for the Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ. The Dow adding 591 points, the S&P 500 gaining 1.6%, the NASDAQ adding 1.6% as well. And where does that leave us for the week? We're still looking at losses for the S&P and the NASDAQ, but the Dow has now moved into the green, up 1% on the week. The Russell 2000, we should mention, lagging behind a bit here, as it has been for a while, up 1.1%.
Hey, guys, a couple of things. We've got the Bloomberg Mag 7 index up about 2% in today's session, still down more than 4% for the week overall. And back to today in the S&P 500, 438 names ultimately gaining ground on this Friday, 64, Scarlet, to the downside.
All right, let's go over to the IMAP. It's a pretty simple read today. All green, your pesto pizza pie in full bloom here, with all 11 industry groups rising at least 0.8%. Financials, consumer discretionary, and tech are leading the way. And within consumer discretionary, we're talking about auto companies in particular. The laggards, if they are even lagging here, real estate investment trusts, materials, and healthcare.
All right, guys, let's get to some of the individual gainers, if I may. Intel on that list. That one up as much as almost 6% in today's session, but finishing the day with a gain of about 2.8%. TechCrunch out this morning reporting that Intel may delay its Ohio chip factory to 2030 at the earliest. Yeah, I know, exactly.
It's rough for Central Ohioans, Carol.
I know. The Columbus Dispatch actually out with the report
Breaking
today.
That scoop, yeah. We were banking on that, you know?
$28 billion project, semiconductor project in Central Ohio. But again, a delay or slowing, if you will, for the second time this year. So
at least we won the national championship.
Yeah. Hooray, hooray. I should point out the stock's up about 19% year to date. Lots of stuff swirling around Intel, including whether or not TSMC makes an investment. I know Matt's here. All right. Monster Beverage, guys, up more than 5%. This after the company's fourth quarter gross margin topped the average analyst estimate. Net sales also roughly in line Wall Street expectations. So we saw this one really an outperformer among the indices. And then Kava Group. Can't get it right.
I think Kava.
I just say Kava?
Yeah.
Potato, patata, Kava.
It's like Spanish champagne.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that's a good way of thinking about it.
Up 5.5% in today's, from somebody who doesn't drink anymore.
Yes, almost 3 years now.
All right, well done. All right, it is up about 5.5% in today's session. Piper Sandler actually turning bullish on this name after yesterday's nearly 9% sell-off. I should point out that we talked to the CFO today. Seems pretty upbeat about the outlook and the expansion. And we'll see. They're continuing
She likes the lamb
invest.
Meatballs and feta too, by the way.
Like the lamb.
That's what she told us.
I did ask about that. Stock's down it was down about 17% year to date, though.
I think we're going to go to decliners now. I want to start with Dell. Matt, it's Dell, right? Dell?
I'm just glad they're all still in the red, Tim. I was worried your decliners might have bounced up.
Oh, I went to make sure before. Don't worry. I went to make sure. 4.7% to the downside for Dell. The company did give a strong outlook for sales of servers optimized for AI, though investors remain concerned about the profitability of these products. Walgreens Boots Alliance shares also fell by 4.7%. This after reports that a take-private deal might not earn shareholders much money. The company has been reportedly exploring a take-private deal with the private equity firm Sycamore Partners. The arrangement might involve splitting the company into 3 different parts, the Financial Times reported on Thursday. Representatives for Walgreens and Sycamore declined to comment. And finally, shares of Duolingo, based in Pittsburgh, down 17%. Shares fell due to its costly AI strategy. It reduced its gross margins by 71.9% in the fourth quarter. Despite the cost, the AI features have been popular with users, and the Max tier now accounts for 5% of subscribers and paid users, rising 51% to over 40 million.
Maybe because of the cost, right? I love it when you see, as a consumer, when you see margins compressed like that, it means you're getting a good deal. They're paying a lot to put those AI features in their product, and I can get it at a relative bargain because they're not making any money.
We're out there buying Blackwell chips now, NVIDIA?
I don't know if those margins have compressed to the same extent.
Okay.
Those are like 70% margins.
Yeah, and also they're like 40 grand per chip. I want to take a look at yields. This has been, I think, the story of the week. The 2-year yield coming in to less than 4%.
Amazing.
The 10-year yield, as you know, we watched Scott Bessent on surveillance. I think it was it last week or was it Monday? Scott Bessent on surveillance saying that they're really focused in the Trump administration on getting these 10-year yields down, on getting mortgages cheaper, on making auto loans more affordable. And so far, it looks like they're working. The 10-year yield has come down every single week of the Trump presidency. It's down 55 basis points from its high in January, and we're looking right now at 421.
All right, I agree. I think that was the big story of the week. It was just, a few weeks ago, maybe, perhaps, that people were talking about moving up to 5% on the 10-year, and it's just interesting to see how that has changed dramatically. Hey, guys, one of the stories that caught our attention has to do with Skype, kind of rest in peace, shutting after 14 years and after Microsoft's $8.5 billion purchase.
This is a really big deal. I mean, for people who remember how difficult it was to talk to somebody just a few years ago in another country, Skype was really the only way you could do it. But then you had the rise of other apps like Snapchat, FaceTime. Microsoft, for its part, says the growth of Microsoft Teams is replacing Skype. The company has just, about 36 million users now. Skype.
But it's really hard to make a long distance phone call, an international call to a business. Like if you're going to call a person who's available on Snapchat or on WeChat or on WhatsApp, that's easy. But if you're calling a business and you're calling a landline overseas, you still kind of need Skype. And I tried to get on the other day, and I was told to buy a 1-month subscription, and with that,
So hang on, what business overseas are you trying to make a call to? And have you not just
I just
pick up the phone and dial +44 whatever, right?
But it would have cost like $1 a minute on my mobile phone.
Always saving money, Scarlett.
You didn't use WhatsApp? You didn't do WhatsApp?
No, you can't because they have to be a user of WhatsApp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the business isn't a user of WhatsApp.
Skype is like AOL Messenger. Zoom works flawlessly. Why would you consider anything else? I don't really know.
Well, something to consider. In any case, this weekend, by the way, is the Oscars. I don't know if you guys are going to be watching on Sunday night, but one thing that I always pay attention to is the swag bags that they give out to the presenters and the nominees. This year, they're offering select Oscar nominees a gift bag that's worth over $216,000, including a trip to the Maldives.
Yeah,
how do you fit that in a bag?
Well, it's just one of several trips, right? That's a 4-night stay in the Maldives, $23,000, 5-night stay also.
Did we just show a picture of naked John Cena? Did we? Can we show that?
It was on broadcast television, network television.
We have trouble getting Victoria's Secret VO approved, and we have naked John Cena? I think it's pretty grotesque to offer
I thought
already.
We were talking about you're saying the bags are grotesque?
Bags. You offer already incredibly wealthy and privileged people $211,000 swag bags? Like, why?
Everyone loves free stuff, and I'm sure they're excited about it.
I don't know, Matt. Sounds like somebody wasn't invited to the Oscars this year.
They end up, what's interesting is they say they a lot of times don't even end up using them because the IRS comes knocking at their door because they're included, I guess, in their income. So
you just leave that trip.
Yeah.
They
don't on the table.
Yeah.
You donate it to someone less fortunate. So someone.
But then they have to pay the taxes on it.
well, maybe someone overseas. You know, some of the people that Scarlett's trying to get a hold of on Skype, they could take her trip to Maldives.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that when I go to the Oscars this Sunday.
All right, let's watch the Oscars. All right, guys, what a day, what a week, what a month. That's it for the February trade here on Bloomberg. That's a wrap, too, for our cross-platform radio, TV, YouTube, Bloomberg Originals. We do it all. Have a good and safe weekend, guys. We'll see you again, same time, same place on Monday.